What books are you reading right now? I'm rereading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. None. I hate reading. Book 3 of Eisenhorn from Warhammer 40k. Solvers is about a woman who buys her the cabin that's been in her family for generations and rehabs it. It located near where I live. Very good so far. Economics in One Lesson and Ready Player One. Frozen Hell by John W. Campbell. It's the original story that the film The Thing is based off of. Just finished Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. I highly recommend. I just finished the second volume of Husky and His White Cat Shazoon. Next book isn't out until end of April. Maeve Binchy, A Week in Winter. Paradise Lost by John Milton. The Bell Jar. Sylvia Plath. The Dresden Files. Say Nothing. A true story of murder and memory in Northern Ireland. The Inhuman Condition. Clive Barker. Pricing Strategies and Tactics. Just started the Wheel of Time series. But also revisiting Frankenstein for the first time since high school, and it's as good as I remember. Stephen King's IT. The Complete Works of Calvin and Hobbes. Bold of you to assume I read cool. The Confessions of St. Augustine. UCB Improv Manual. The Sun Also Rises. Hemingway. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Carnegie. Audio book. Words of Radiance Brandon Sanderson. The Lost Metal. Brandon Sanderson. No Way Out. Major Adam Jowett. Artemis. Andy Weir. I am an Asian who lives in the US. I discovered there is a thriving community of people like me are reading Asian novels that are being translated into English. Just imagine. The Chinese alone has a publishing audience of 400 million readers. The amount of authors this amount of readers can support is staggering, and you can tell because the quality of the writing from these new writers is outstanding. If you were willing to experiment, read something like Lord of Mysteries or Release That Witch. The perspectives of these writers are novel, unassuming and just pure fun. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Actually really enjoying it. I read The Martian because I loved the movie and hated the book. I feel like, and Hail Mary is guilty of this too. Weir gets a little bit up his own ass with how much he knows about science and puts the science before the plot. Hail Mary still has a lot of science-y stuff. But he made an active effort to have a way more dynamic plot this time around, and it's actually an awesome piece of science fiction. The Darkest Day by Tom Wood. Breath by James Nestor. Think Again by Adam Grant. The White Pill. Finally was able to buy a copy of Fire and Fury. The book about the end of Trump's campaign and very start of his presidency. It's been wild so far. Before that I was reading Limelight. Rush in the 80s. About just what it suggests. After Fire and Fury I plan to read the next Rush book. Driven. Rush in the 90s.